Sunday the 13th of January 2019, we're in Carter House Hotel. We're going home unfortunately today. We had a magnificent day yesterday then the Stallion Trail. It was a lot shorter than we expected. We thought it was going to be an hour long. It was 2 o'clock till 3. We were slightly late. We were a bit kind of rushed. We were kind of rushing, panicking because we were going into the wrong entrance. Apparently we didn't realise there was 2 entrances into the stud. There was one at the far end, and then there was the main entrance into where the trails were being held. And we just about made it in the nick of time, and we had to go in and sign our names into we had to go into kind of a marquee or kind of a tent kind of area, and we had to sign our names, and they were selling brochures and stuff like that, and leaflets and everything else, and they had all lovely magnificent photographs on the wall of all the stallions and all the information about their pedigrees and all the race career, the stud fees and everything else, and all the details about their yearlings and all their first crops of the yearlings and all that kind of stuff. All the information about all the stallions and magnificent photographs of them as well, including all of Galileo's offspring and everything else too. So magnificent shots. I'm sorry I didn't get any photographs of them too, because they were magnificent shots. And we had to sign our names in to register, to let them know that we have arrived and stuff like that. And then we went up to follow the guide to where the trails were held. And there was only a few horses on show. The first horse was a brand new stallion called US Navy Flag, and he was quite small. He was actually quite a small horse actually, and his starting fee was, what was it, 15,000?
Yeah.
15,000 I think his starting fee was. And he's actually he was a lovely horse. He was a dark bay with a long haze on his nose, a kind of line on his nose. He's actually a beautiful horse. And we saw some of Galileo's offspring. We saw Australia, we saw green Glen Eagles, and we saw, who else did we see? We saw a few of his offspring anyway. And so it was a magnificent show, and thoroughly enjoyed myself. And I went over to say hello to Galileo. Apparently, fortunately, he wasn't on show yesterday, and that's the whole idea. That's the reason I went up to, that's the reason I came, was to see him on show. But fortunately, he was in the stable eating his hay, and I had a little peck in his nose, which unfortunately I did get on film, which is a pity, because I was telling your mum, and I tell Liam's mum on the phone that I got footage of me pecking his nose. Unfortunately, I didn't get on film. I was watching the footage on the computer yesterday, and unfortunately I didn't get it on film, so she'd be slightly disappointed, and I was disappointed myself, but I had a nice little peck in his nose, and I couldn't believe I actually touched a legend, and I was hoping he'd come back over so I can get a bit of footage of him coming over to say hello, but he wouldn't come back over. He's too busy eating his hay, so he was off duty obviously yesterday. So but he was exercised. Obviously, he exercised the horses, and he had his bridle off. Apparently, they must take the bridles off when they put them into their stables. But he's going to be 21 this year, funny enough. But he looked absolutely amazing, and it's actually a lovely stud, and the staff are very nice, and they're very helpful, and they're very it was great hospitality, and they're very nice people, they're very friendly. And the guy that was with me at Galileo stable was actually quite nice. I had a lovely chat with him, and I was telling him about my gift, and a horse whispering. I was telling him about the stud that we go to and everything else, and that we have a big horse called Invincible. He said that he'd heard of Invincible, so I was quite surprised about that, but whatever. But so it was lovely. It was actually quite nice, and thoroughly enjoyed myself. And my first time in Tipperary, we had a little. Then we went shopping afterwards. We went to the shopping centre in Clonmel. We went to the shopping centre in Clonmel yesterday. Did a bit of shopping, and we had a burger in a place very similar to Eddie Rocket's called What's it called?
Shake Dog.
Shake Dog. It's very similar to Eddie Rocket's. It's a similar, very, very similar decor, but it's blue It's blue seating, exactly the same. It's blue seating. It's colour blue seating. It's exact same. It's blue seats though. The Interrockets is red. It's the blue seating, but they don't have any jukeboxes. That's the only difference. They don't have any jukeboxes, but they play very good music. They played all 80s music and the same kind of menu, very similar menu. It was a lovely place. We did a bit of shopping. We went to Easton's and we looked around the other places. We went into Deals and we went into Golden Discs and a lovely shopping centre. So Liam and I may pop in there again on the way home and before we go home today, and we may have a burger or just look around and then we could head off home then after that. So I didn't want to rush home today, so I want to see some of the sights because it's my first time in Tipperary. So, but anyway, magnificent times. I'm hoping to come here again some other time, because there's a new because it's a very new place for me. So anyway, thanks folks, and I hope you enjoyed the viewing. Thank you folks. Bye. How's that?